2023 was an incredible year in my running journey, and today we look back at the big goals I set for 2023 and look ahead to 2024.
With the GoPro in hand, a strong finish. Congratulations, welcome back.
Hi everybody, welcome to today's video. My name is Matt and this is What Matters to Matt, and on today's video I want to talk to you all about my 2024 running goals. Now, my last video that I put out, I talked all about that one big goal, that one thing that I had in the back of my mind, the most important thing to me and ultimately the reason why I run. That is my family. I mentioned that in so many of my videos. I would like to run so that I can be healthy, so that I can be there for my family. But in this video, we're going to talk all about more of those running specific goals. But I think what's really important is that before we get into my 2024 goals, we look back at the video that I did about this time last year and talk about whether I was able to accomplish those 2023 running goals that I had set out for myself. Now, 2023 was a huge year for me. It was really only the second big year that I had been running. Started taking running a whole lot more serious in 2022. So when it came to 2023, I had set the bar really high for myself. And ultimately, I think I did quite well, but we may have missed the mark on a couple of different points. Let's look back at that video and take a look at exactly what my running goals were for 2023. All right, so first goal in the goals by the numbers category is to run a sub 3:30 marathon. Now, the only other marathon that I've ever run so far. So yes, that first goal was to break 3:30 in the marathon. Ultimately, last spring, the only marathon that I ran in 2023, I ran in 3:32:49. I missed that mark by 2 minutes and 49 seconds, which means I did not meet that goal. All right, so by the numbers, goal number 2 for me is actually to run an ultra marathon this year. Now, this is something that I'm kind of going to try to sandwich between two marathons, one that I have in May. And goal number 2 was that I would run an ultra marathon. Now, in that video, I do specifically say that I feel that an ultra marathon is at least 50 kilometers. And that's a pretty important point when we get into what I actually did in 2023, because I had run a last man standing. I couldn't get past the 7th lap. I didn't make it back to the start finish line in time. And I ended up running a total of 44 point some odd kilometers. I'll put it up here on the screen. All right, guys. Tightened up really bad there. Officially, this is the farthest I've ever gone on 2 feet, so that's cool. But there's one big climb there. I was actually doing pretty good pace relative to making it, and cramp. Now I was taking lots of salt pills. Lots of sugar, different things, but apparently it wasn't enough. But if the definition is more than just running further than a marathon, if the definition that I had set for myself is 50 kilometers, that means that I missed that goal by a little bit over 5 kilometers. And goal number 3 for me, and by the numbers, is to run 3,000 kilometers. Now, again, for some of you out there, that's not going to seem like a ton. For others, that's going to seem like quite a bit. And goal number 3 was to run 3,000 kilometers. I ran a little bit over 2,700 kilometers. So again, missed goal number 3. Now, one thing I want to mention here before we get into 2024 is I did set that bar pretty high for 2023, and I am very proud. I'm very happy with what I was able to accomplish. I didn't actually meet any of those goals, but I ran over half an hour faster than I'd ever run in a marathon. I ran the furthest that I had ever run in one day, and I ran the most mileage by quite a bit that I had ever run in 1 year. So I don't think it's anything to be too upset about, but it does kind of set the stage for 2024. Let's get into what my goals are coming this year. All right, so goal number 1 for 2024, and it is a big one. It is going to be the stretch goal, but that is to run a sub 3:15 marathon. I got a marathon coming up in a little bit less than 16 weeks. We're actually in the first week of the spring marathon training block for me. Running the same marathon that I did last year, the same one that I ran 3:32:49 last year. Going to try to run that again this year, but I'm also going to try to run a fall marathon and possibly a third marathon in December. So my goal in May is not necessarily to break that 3:15 barrier. To be honest with you, I'm probably not in as good a shape now as I was this time last year, but I still think if I dedicate myself to a good training block, I should be able to get a PR in the spring here. Might not whittle away down to 3:15, but hopefully by the end of the year, I can set that target. We'll see what the next few weeks, the few months bring us, but that's the ultimate goal. 3:15 is the target for the marathon in 2024. And goal number 2 for me is to hit that 3,000 kilometer mark in my training volume for the year. Now that was a goal last year. I missed that by a little bit over a couple hundred kilometers. This year I'm bringing that back, and I think if you look my Strava, and if you're not following me on Strava, I'll put a link to my Strava in the description down below. Follow me, I'll follow you back. One thing I am absolutely great at is giving lots and lots of kudos. So follow me on Strava, but if you look at my Strava, the one thing that I'm not very good at throughout the year, I was not very consistent in 2023. And I think if you look at that a little bit closer, when I'm in a big training block, I do pretty well with being consistent with my training, but I seem to be a little bit more all or nothing, and when I'm not training for something specific, my running kind of falls completely off the radar, and I take some down weeks that are practically no running whatsoever. So as long as I'm consistent in my training, I should have no problem breaking that 3,000 kilometer barrier in 2024. And the third and final running goal that I have for 2024 is that I want to set PBs in the 5K, 10K, half marathon, and marathon. Now I do feel like the marathon's going to take care of itself because I am targeting a sub 3:15 marathon, and my current PB in the marathon is 3:32:49. But for the other distances, and I think it's important for me to mention, whether you've been a long time follower of my channel or you are new to my channel, by the way, if you're new, please consider subscribing, hit the like button on this video. But I really haven't been running for that long, and when I started running in late 2021, I was actually targeting a spring marathon for 2022, and when I towed the line at that marathon, I had never run any other races, and since then, really haven't run that many official races. I've always kind of targeted the marathon in my training. I'm sort of a go big or go home. But I do have some best efforts on Strava in all those distances. Naturally, in my training, you get those on Strava, and those are the ones I'm going to try to beat. So hopefully I've got them up here on the screen right now. I do think that I should easily be able to hit the 5K PB. I should be able to beat that. I do think I should be able to get the 10K. I should be able to get there. The half marathon, that one's probably going to be the trickiest one because last spring when I was training for my marathon, I feel like I ran I couldn't have run a half marathon time trial any better than I did on that day. So I've got these goals, and I think even though I'm not targeting them specifically, I do plan on signing up for several races this year, 5Ks, 10Ks, and half marathons that will give me the opportunity to actually set PBs in those distances. One of those, and what I'm really excited about, and I posted this on Instagram today, follow me there, link in the description down below, is that I am running the London 10K, the ASICS London 10K. I'm so pumped and so thrilled. Hopefully I get to see 40 runs when I'm over there. But hopefully I'm able to set PBs in all those distances. Guys, if you can't tell, I am incredibly pumped about 2024. I've started my new marathon training block. I'm in the middle of the first week right now. I'm going to share with you those experiences. I'm going to share with you everything that I learn, everything that comes up during my training. If you want to follow along, you're going to have to subscribe. You're going to have to stick around. Once again, guys, as I say at the end of every one of my videos, my name is Matt, and this is What Matters to Matt, and ultimately, what matters to me most is my family. I'll see you guys in the next one.
Step 1, wake up early, gonna rise with the sun. Step 2, get some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you want to be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. Wake up, today's gonna be a good